All right.
All right, welcome to this professional development and within support staff within college athletics. We'll introduce ourselves here.
I'm Garrett Harper. I'm athletic facilities coordinator here at Clemson University.
Burt West, athletic facilities coordinator at Clemson University.
Simpson, PE teacher and athletic director over at Getty's Middle School.
Bryce Stutt, event operations graduate assistant at Clemson.
And I'm Ben Stove, equipment ops graduate assistant. So, yep.
So the three goals of this presentation are to acquire skills to become a transformational leader. This is by acquiring skills, working in different areas of the athletic department. It's kind of how we started out. Our goals here, adapting skills to advance and help others advance in their respective careers, and identifying leadership strengths and improving weaknesses personally and both at an organizational level. So transformational leadership is the theory that we chose to kind of focus on when we were coming up with our plan for professional development. And the main focus is for followers to become inspired and more focused and reach their highest level of performance. That's both, as a leader and a follower and as an organization as a whole. A lot of people get transformational and transactional leadership confused, and there's a few differences that listed here that are key in seeing the difference there. The implementation of transformational leadership is beneficial for all parties involved. It is encourage innovation and forward thinking, foster stronger, more meaningful relationships. Employee engagement will increase, and an overall higher performance of success will be seen at both the personal and the organizational or departmental level.
So moving on with continuing on with the transformational leadership. I start off by getting a quote from James Burns in one of the articles on one of the modules. And it just says focuses on the identification of leadership behaviors that influence the values and aspirations of subordinates and also activate the subordinates' higher order of needs. So basically what that means is as a leader, you want to influence the behaviors and then also the values and aspirations to push them towards that vision that as a group y'all share. And then with the four eyes and action, there was a module on the bottom right. So basically, moving off of the module, you want to inspire a shared vision. So as a group, you want to have pretty much the same vision, and then challenge your followers. So you want to, when times get tough or your followers are kind of struggling with the vision, you want to push them through the adversity to have success. And then obviously you want to everyone have a trusting relationship, especially with your leader, and then lead by example. So not just say what to do to your followers, actually do it so they can learn and understand what to do. And then just going off of that, with more attributes for transformational leadership. You want to be empathetic and emotional towards your followers, just showing that you care, being authentic with that. And then from start to finish, you want to see growth towards the vision so you can have success, especially with the followers.
Awesome. Yeah, before we get into the application piece, wanted to get I think feedback from the interviews was the most important part of this, just to get ideas, one, but the two also just this is the main people we're dealing with support staff directly, with what they want to see with applications specifically with professional development and how they want to be helped. So that's the big reason why we wanted to kind of show this. So some themes we saw based off our interviews in Clemson athletics, it's a mixed review. Kind of, some people saw that they did a good job with professional development, and some were not aware, and or some people thought they didn't do a good job and were not aware of some of the opportunities just because they feel like you needed a relationship with someone to know. But they also said there's a lot of opportunities. Some things like going to conferences to help professional development. But yeah, sometimes it's not readily provided. is what we found. The next thing, yeah, Clemson Athletics offers a handful. Some of the things include like CU Advance. It's a professional development thing that Clemson has for its athletic department, a lot for younger individuals kind of at the beginning of their career to improve in their leadership. Also saw things like going to conferences. They encourage different departments to go to conferences. Like for me, I personally work in equipment managing, and so they recommend us going to the athletic equipment manager conference, and they provide stipends and provide money for all that stuff. But overall, a lot of the interviewers wanted around 2 to 4 opportunities. That's the overall amount of what they wanted to see that Clemson would offer. And so next we'll get into the ideas um, that they thought of that Clemson could offer. So this chart shows obviously the amount of interview or the ideas to expand with. And so on the left to show the numbers is how many people kind of said they would like to see this idea or like they mentioned it in their interview. And we'll go into the 4 main ones we talked about. First one was athletic department get-togethers. So one person said they'd like to see this, and yeah, so it's just like kind of like happy hours, parties, whatever you can, just to get the athletics department together. More like a networking event, expand that network with people maybe you don't see within it. Next one's mentorship programs. So whether that be upper administrative, taking on someone younger, something like that, showing them the ropes, giving them more experience in that regard. And then also like with interns, entry level, and grad assistants. Then also the next one would be guest speakers and conferences. Obviously, like Clemson putting on their own conference. That'd be a great idea. And I think that's the most popular one we saw throughout our interviews was just getting people to go to a conference, to have something that Clemson provides. Easy, right in the back door, people can go to it. And then also guest speakers, getting outside ideas, outside knowledge from people that are higher up in athletics. And that can help a lot more so. Then the last thing would be working across departments. And I think that's where our transformational leadership kind of falls into the most with yeah, more hands-on experience between like different departments. Like let's say facilities and grounds manager comes and helps like equipment or helps with facilities and events management. That's kind of the idea, setting up a program for that. And then just a couple other ideas, external resources or companies to help teach the sports staff, whether that be leadership ideas, professional development to improve assistance in departments, help lead like with similar ages, like people that they work with similar ages. And then, yeah, creating a schedule just with certain ideas for the whole athletic department to kind of go off of. So those were kind of what we saw throughout our interviews.
As far as the application for professional development, the idea of the formation of an inner athletic department committee that focuses on on professional development for employees in supporting departments, and the mission of this is to develop and promote professional development opportunities for personnel in athletic support departments. And this committee will be made up of about 5 people, but probably from different departments, if at all possible, because obviously from the previous slides, you can see everybody has a different opinion, and everybody comes from a different world, because in their departments, everybody thinks differently, and that way you have a constant flow of ideas. As far as the roles and responsibilities of this committee, they meet every 2 weeks. They discuss the thoughts on new development initiatives, and also discuss like where like their department see there's there's like things that are holding back the mission from being completed, and being able to develop young younger staffers and develop them professionally. and also I think it's important to have, say, a sponsoring associate or assistant athletic director to kind of just oversee this committee and meet with this committee every 2 months, talk about what's been talked about in the biweekly meetings, and also find ways that these ideas fit in and can be practiced within the department, and ask questions about what administrators, higher ups think of these ideas. Like, that's why you want somebody there. You want somebody who's in on an athletic director's cabinet meetings, what they think should be happening, and if they think that this would work. So it's the sometimes having a committee and a constant flow of ideas that can lead to change.
Yeah, so going off what Bert said, talking about the logistics, for our budget, we would have in-person speakers come in. We would have fees that would include travel, meals, and hotel. That would be up to a $2,000 stipend. But if you come in like on Zoom or Microsoft Teams, that would be a $1,000 stipend. Just a payment for them, giving us their time and words. And each speaker will hold 2 to 3 trainings for one day. So it's not just a one-time thing. There's different opportunities throughout the day that people can, come in and listen to what they have to say and get our money's worth. This will be communicated using Teamworks, which we already use at Clemson. I'm sure other schools use that as well. We'll send out schedules and reminders of when these opportunities are going to be happening, and try to get as many people as there as we possibly can. For professional development opportunities, administration and development will come up with a lineup of possible speakers, and a poll will be sent out through Teamworks that we also use for the scheduling, to vote on who we would like to hear from, trying to get the everybody's number one choice and kind of narrow it down that way. These trainings will also be talked about with NIL, diversity, equity, inclusion, and Title IX, things like that. The frequency of meetings are going to be 2 guest speakers per semester and 3 to 4 trainings on relevant intercollegiate athletic topics, like I said above. So,
Yeah, I mean, and just in conclusion, it should be the goal for every athletic director to see every employee, no matter what department, continue to develop professionally and grow personally. After our interviews, we were able to see the need for professional development in college athletics, and we were able to see things that we needed to work on here at Clemson, and improve using our plan. And the implementation of this plan is using transformational leadership will overall help us in reaching our goals as a department, as an organization, and on the personal level as well.